Hey everybody. Alright, so the show today we're going to do is going to be a little bit different. I did a show like this a while back on how to take your autococker apart, but it wasn't really clear and it didn't have a very good view on the gun. So I'm going to redo it right now. So first thing you're going to want to do when you're disassembling, assuming you already have the barrel off, you're going to want to take the bolt pin out with the bolt. Keep track of all your parts, just keep them on a separate side of where you're working. Take the cocking rod out next. Just unscrew it. Twist your back block 180 degrees and your pump kit should slide right off. Alright, so now take your turn spring, put that over, and now what you will have to do is take your regulator and your grip frame off. On my gun it's a little bit goofy, it's kind of weird, but the regulator can't come off because of the gauge. I don't really, I think it's kind of odd, but you kind of have to take the grip frame off before you take the regulator off. So you want to take off that screw and that screw. So I'll go ahead and do that. Alright. Got this single trigger 45-degree slider on here. Really nice little trigger frame. Like it a lot. This is not my main pump gun. If you would like to go check out my main pump gun, go to my channel. This pump gun actually is nothing compared to my other one, so feel free to go check out the project pump gun that I've built. Really nice pump gun. It's got all the Series 6 internals in it. Sorry if this is kind of taking a while. These screws tend to be temperamental. Alright, so like I said, keep everything in a nice designated pile so you're not losing parts. Go ahead and take your regulator off. And now you're down to just the bare body, like this. First thing you're going to have to do is access that IVG. And that is the grub screw in the back of the lower tube. I will have to find the correct Allen key. I'm not sure exactly what size, but I guessed the right one. Actually, this looks like a 3/16. It is labeled. So, and then you want to remember how many turns in it was. So this is, right now, it's parallel to the floor, like that. So you want to do 1 turn, 2 turns, and about 2 3/4 till I'm flush. Turns, flush with the body, that is. And then you just want to go ahead and take it the rest of the way out. So just remember what it was in from flush. Alright, so now that you got your IVG, set that aside. The mainspring will now be able to come right out. Now what you're going to have to do is take your cocking rod, and if you can see the hammer in that slot there, there's the lug. Let me slide it back. Alright, so that's the hammer right there. It keeps sliding down. So, okay, there you go. Alright, that's the hammer in there in that little slot. So now you're going to have to take your cocking rod and you're going to have to screw that back into the hammer with all the IVG and the mainspring out. Screw that back in so that you can pull and push the hammer to adjust it so you can get your 1/8 Allen into the lug. Alright, so now remember how many turns in your lug was and turn it back out. Turn it into the hammer, back into the hammer. I don't know if you can see that retracting or not, but it is retracting. The lug is retracting back into the hammer. Do that until it can just come right out. Oh, didn't get it enough. Oopsie. Alright, let me get it again. This lug's a little bit temperamental. Alright, so now it comes right out. What you're going to want to do with this hammer is lube it up. Just throw some just standard gun oil on it. Works. Now for these kind of parts you might want to set a rag down because they can tend to be greasy. Have something ready to wipe your fingers off with so you're not getting things too greased up and dirty. Alright, so now that you have that done, you get to the tricky or intimidating part. All of the stuff is out besides the valve and the 2 retaining nuts that hold the valve in. I don't know if you can see the valve, probably not, but the one retaining nut is there, the second one is inside. You will need a valve removal tool for the one inside of the body. You will need a 3 Oh God, I don't even know, but it's, let's see if it's labeled. No, this Allen is not labeled, but I don't know what size this is, but it is an Allen key. Just screw it right out, and get that the rest of the way out with my fingers. Alright, so take that out, clear that all off. Alright, so now you just want to take your valve tool, stick it down into the body, like so. You will feel it probably click in to a retaining nut, and start screwing that out. Easy enough. Comes right out. Alright, so now you have your valve left. You just want to give it a few solid, firm smacks to get it out. Sometimes it takes it a second. Some valves just take a little longer, so you might want to take your Allen key and put it in the dent of the valve and just start nudging it out a little bit. This valve tends to be a little sticky, so we'll try and, oh wow, flew out on me. Hold on a minute. And I don't really know where that spring went. That's not good. Alright, well, I got my valve in my poppet right now. Let me find that spring real quick. If I don't find it, I'll just find it a little later. Oh, there it is. Okay. This right here is what I lost. Alright, so that goes on like that. That appears like that. That is your valve and poppet. Alright, so once that's out, put some Dow 33 or 55 on the O-ring. I've actually already done that to this gun a little earlier this week because it needed it. So it doesn't really need it now, but any Dow works. Anything Dow 33, Dow 55 works on that body O-ring right there. So just give that a nice generous coat. Alright, so now we're into the kind of tricky part, getting it back in. Once you've lubed everything up, you can clean that out with the inside of the bottom tube with a toothbrush, long handle Q-tips, whatever you need to do. Lube it up with some standard gun oil. After you're done with all that, take your poppet spring, place it back on the valve, or the poppet, like so. You'll notice the valve has a dent and it has a hole. You want the hole to be facing up into the body and the dent to be facing that retention nut, like so, in comparison to the body when you put it back in. Take your retaining nut, put it back, and then just stack all that. That's how I do it. So that works good. And then you just want to slide that whole assembly back up into the body of the gun, and then you want to give it a few twists. You want to make sure that that dent is what is exposed in that one retaining nut hole. Once you find that dent, you will want, crap, I didn't get it that time, but you want to make sure you're not plugging up the hole, you're plugging the dent with that one retaining nut. So make sure that's the one you're doing. Alright, I don't know if you can see this, but alright, so my dent, there it is. Alright, so even if the one nut, the one that you take out with this tool, is not fully tightened, don't worry about it. Take this screw, put that in first once you see the dent back in its proper place, and there she goes. Alright, and then tighten that up. Generally these are stainless steel screws. These are all Autococker bodies, are all aluminum as far as I'm concerned, you know, most of them are, unless you have a stainless steel body. So do not over tighten that, nothing too crazy, you will strip it out. Stainless steel will win. Then just snug up that one with the tool inside the body. Alright, so we're getting pretty close on time. We've got 1 minute left on the camera. So then all you're going to want to do is take your hammer and put that back in like so. Make sure the lug, which you can see is right there, is facing down. And then once you put the lug down back, or you protrude it back out of the hammer, put that back in, the mainspring, and then tighten your IVG down back to where it was and put everything back on. So hope this is helpful to anybody. Thanks guys.